Mumbling about my money, I would've went dummy and been grand. But I got this shit locked up, can't nobody stop us, young nigga. I'm chasing that big bag. Everybody around me, they clutching the fire on. My younger day once on riding for him. He mugger, we up, and I hope that the.
What's good? It's your boy OTC Ro.
It's your boy OTC Perry.
And this on my shirt. I just realized that. Welcome back to Real Reviews. I just realized that. I looked into the phone. I was like, that shirt looked familiar to motherfucker.
I remember when he first found out. He's like, bro, that's my shirt. I was like, it is? He said, hey, Boys and Girls Albany.
You don't work there. You know you don't work there.
I was like, say that?
But anyways, man, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Roast, do the most. I'm chewing gum, so excuse me. And we're going to get straight to these videos, man. We're going to keep dropping videos on y'all. But this is the top 10 video games that offended not people, not cities, not a state, but all, according to YouTube, all 240 countries.
There's 240 countries?
According to YouTube.
Oh, outer space.
Outer space. Okay, Pluto.
We got you.
We got all the stars, the Milky Way. Forgot the Milky Way. Okay, there you go.
The galaxy.
Okay, then we got the YouTube. We figured it out.
The better variety.
Say, you don't want E.T. looking at our child's Gambino on video. Anyways, enjoy.
Sensibilities are different everywhere, but video games are international. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks,
like
10
porn.
video games that offended entire countries. Number 10, Battlefield 4 apparently offended China pretty badly in portraying a fictional version of China from 2020 with civil and military unrest. You know, not a real, actual scenario, a totally fake scenario made for a totally fake game set in the future. And it's not like the game came out last week or anything. It's from 2013. Wow. So it was even further in the future back then, 5 years ago. But China's state media didn't really want to acknowledge that at the time and just portrayed it as intentionally attacking China. Number 9, Turkey concluded that Minecraft encourages children to be violent as well as antisocial because there can be griefing going on in the
I don't even play Minecraft.
As well as the eventual
I don't even play
need to
Minecraft.
kill animals or zombies for food or survival.
Turkey?
Back in 2015, Turkey attempted to ban the game.
Turkey just want to
for
be
these
relevant.
reasons,
Turkey,
despite
y'all
the
some
fact
hams.
that other games
Y'all some hams.
I just want to
any
be relevant.
attempts to ban them in Turkey have many more of those features.
Oh yeah, we all know. Yeah, I already know about all these games being
Minecraft
banned in
by
some
no
foreign
means
countries.
a realistic-looking game, and to say it actually inspires children to be violent is, I think, a weird
Teach 'em how to
stretch
build,
make.
for real.
Especially considering that Minecraft
I done
is
seen
more often
kids
than
build
not
fucking
lauded and
crazy
used
shit.
for its creative components as opposed to its actual gameplay mechanics. Most
It is a
people don't
weird-ass
play
game.
Minecraft because it's a survival game. But whatever, Turkey. Number 8, World of Warships really bothered Korea on account it had the inclusion of the Rising Sun Japanese flag, which is the flag that they flew in
That's
World
fucked
War
up.
II. There's a few reasons why
That's
Korea might be
fucked
upset
up.
about that.
Who
Many
made that
people
game? That's
really
fucked up.
consider
So
it
is
to
this
be the
America making these
equivalent
games?
I don't
of
know.
the
This
Nazi swastika,
because America doesn't make every game. Americans don't make every
This is
game.
because Japan
Like
really
Metal
wasn't
Gear
very
Solid,
good
those are
in
not
World
Americans.
War II, and I
So no.
get this to
This
some
is just
extent,
period.
but for me it
Offended
seems
countries.
like if you're in a warship battle and you beat the warship with that flag on it,
Shit,
it can't be
America
that
do
different
so
from
much shit, you
beating the
think they the
Nazis
ones
in
building the game, you
Wolfenstein.
feel me?
Satisfying. But again, that's just me. Number 7, in
Man, that game was fun,
2013, Pakistan banned Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Medal of Honor
I remember this
Warfighter
one, yeah.
for quote-unquote
Yeah.
portraying
Hell yeah.
Pakistan badly. Or,
Yeah.
in another way of putting it, it said that both of the games were against Pakistan.
Yeah.
Now, if you've played either of these games, it's understandable that one might not find those portrayals positive. But if there's a bad way of spreading the
Black Ops 2?
idea
They
that
call
the
it
game is
Medal of
wrong,
Honor.
it is not banning it. Neither of these two games ever makes an actual claim or assertion that Pakistan itself is bad, or ever really do anything that is truly horrifically wrong, and therefore a ban seems like an overreaction by default. I can certainly understand if it was some kind of Pakistani genocide simulator, but you've played both of these games and you probably haven't thought
Oh, yeah, we're
very
banning
much about
Pakistan, too.
as a whole because of them. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2 was banned in Mexico because it negatively portrays the people of that state as violent. In order to combat this look, the state declared that it would be confiscating any copies that it found in people's possession. Which confiscation of property, though not physical violence, is often aided by physical violence, so hardly a good way to prove that that portrayal was wrong, even though, as we all know, there's no such thing as a place in the world that is entirely peaceful or entirely violent. Number 5, Battlefield 3 actually got banned in Iran, despite not actually even being on sale there. You see, EA doesn't distribute games in Iran because, well, it's a little bit of a volatile market, let's say. That isn't to say, however, that pirated copies aren't sold in shops there, because games like Battlefield 3 are pretty much universally loved worldwide. Now, the reason it got banned, though, is that authorities objected to the plot that basically revolves around a U.S. military raid on Tehran.
You come to our country to murder us, yet we are the...
I don't know why that's funny, but that's...
That's
funny. I don't know why that's funny, though.
This is America. We're on Childish Gambino.
Authority feels over real. Come on, Iran. Are you offended?
We were laughing at that.
Black Ops upset the Cuban government because of a segment in the game in which players try to kill Castro, the former leader of Cuba, angry that it glorifies U.S. assassination attempts that had actually happened in the past. They had this to say: what the United States government did not achieve in more than 50 years, it now tries to do virtually. And in all honesty, if you actually do care about how war happens in the world, I get this. Like, whatever you think about Castro, it's probably not so great that we go around and try to assassinate the leaders of countries. But also, at the time this game had been made, Fidel Castro hadn't been the leader of the country for quite some time. There is kind of an actual legitimate moral component to complaining about a game doing this, but there's also the argument that historically the United States actually has done that, and although video games may not be the best medium to portray it in, it is actually historically accurate to portray this. This one's a little murkier than a lot of them, but ultimately, I think we can maintain that it would have been better had they just let it be. Number 3, Germany banned Fallout 3 because the German Department for Media Harmful to Minors listed it as one example of such media. This completely stops any lawful sale of any media in the country if it gets listed.
They didn't put the rating on there? That's on them.
But Bethesda was actually able to overturn it 7 years in because they were able to build a case that by today's standards that are not actually that different than the standards of that time, the game was not harmful to minors. Still, won't somebody think of the children is literally the worst. Number 2, a game by the name of Fight of Gods last year offended the Malaysian government so much they actually blocked access to Steam entirely.
GTA has to be number 1.
You could not use Steam in the country because they didn't like the idea of Jesus and Buddha fighting. I, however, love the idea of Jesus and Buddha fighting, and think that that was a huge overreaction on Malaysia's part. Not long after they restored Steam to the country, but they also made sure the Fight of Gods had been removed from the storefront. Which is honestly a pretty dick move. Like, if people want to fight the gods of various eras against each other, why not just let it happen? And finally, number 1, Bolivia took issue with Ghost Recon Wildlands. They claim that the game unfairly portrayed the country as under the control of a drug cartel. Which I get why you don't want to be viewed that way. Believe me, there's very little I take issue in the actual underlying reasoning. It's just that there's one big thing about it that I think Bolivia didn't take into consideration. Nobody thinks Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands is a real thing. Nobody. So not wanting to be portrayed as a narco state, sure, I get that. Except they're not being portrayed as that for real. And nobody thinks they are. So what's the deal, Bolivia? Why do you care? Have you ever been offended by a game or seen someone offended by a game? I'm sure that sometime in your life you could have answered yes to one of those questions. So leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Damn. Link to that video will be in the description. That was dope.
The war games, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of figured, bro.
I already knew it was gonna be some.
Yeah, some war games, man.
I thought it was gonna be a lot like Iraq. I thought Iraq was gonna be in some shit.
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Pakistan,
Iran.
Middle East. It's Middle East. It's close.
And the thing about these games, when developers make these games, they don't give a fuck about your country, my nigga. They don't give a fuck about your country.
But the funny part is, it could be motherfuckers from their country
that's making the game. Yeah, so y'all better check is in your own country making the game. Because some of them games are not made in the U.S.
Americans, we gonna play them games.
They might be made in the U.S.
Right.
And some of those games might be made in the U.S., but they're not always made by Americans.
Exactly.
Think about that, okay?
Exactly.
Vice versa, too. So if you don't like a game, pass it to your nephew or whoever you got to pass it to, and, you know, buy the next
Stop banning games.
Cop up. Just
Banning games for
real,
us.
man. Banning games,
Sound like the
banning
niggas-
videos. You sound like you, too.
It sounds like some of the homies at the party. Kick that. I gotta kick the nigga. Just leave the nigga.
That nigga already on the ground. Why you gotta kick the nigga, man? Anyways, man, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe.
It's your boy OTC.
It's your boy OTC Row.